Okay, so we left off in part one with looking at more of the HTML tags and looked at the way that our images can change with this style that we put into our image tag, this style attribute. This is something that eventually we're going to do with CSS, but for this week, we're just going to look at doing HTML and images for your assignment. And we're just going to do some simple styling that is changing a few things, but then we'll look further at that later. But so I can change the style of things this way. For example, I can write color and red. And now this is going to be in red text. So I'll save that and go to my page. And now here it is in red. And if I wanted to apply a different color to the whole body, since this is just the heading, I could go into the body tag up here and put style equals color blue, and then save that and refresh it. And now everything that is in the body is going to be blue text until it sees a new style for the text, which I've put into the heading here. So it's going to override this body style here for just this one piece of text that I've told it to make red. So I'm writing in these color letters, red and blue, or color words. And there's a few color words that you can just type in. So basically the, primary colors and the kind of standard colors, crayon box colors, small pack of crayons. But if we wanted to change that to more various colors, then it's good practice to use the HTML color picker. And that lets you select here one of these colors from the color picker, and then you can select here one of these. Or you can go to, let's see. I like to go to just HTML hexadecimal color. There we go. Yeah, where is it? It usually just pops up. Maybe it's HTML color. Okay, so here I like to go to this one because you can get like a million different colors and get really nuanced in the colors that you pick. And then this is the hexadecimal. It's 6 letters and words that you would pick and a hashtag in front. And then instead of the color word, you put in the hashtag and one of the hexadecimal colors. So I do command save and refresh this. And now that is this color here. So you can get this huge range of colors if you go here. And then there's also the HTML color picker, which is a little bit less. So here's some that you can use that are going to be already in there by, you could say, Dodger blue, violet, and things like that. But I just go to the color picker so that I can be more exact in my color pickings. So in your assignment for this week, what you have to do is here's the assignment overview. And here's this. I always try to treat Microsoft Word like Photoshop. Here's the zoom in. All right. Well, hopefully you can read this. So it's making a simple hand-coded website with at least 3 linked HTML pages and using at least 5 images that you've edited in Photoshop. So I'm going to do a demo of 3 pages and working with Photoshop images. So I've taken my images, my 404 images from the web, and I went into Photoshop and I just kind of did some funky things with them and edited it so that I can use these as part of my website. And then I also went to the Photomosher page and I made some animated GIFs from these Photoshopped images, and I'm going to use this new set of images. I'm just taking these 404 images and I'm just reusing them in multiple ways because the site that I'm going to make is just this sort of repetitive thing of this 404 image. So I'll show you that page is the Photomosh. It's photomosh.com, I think. Yes. So once I edited my images in Photoshop, I then loaded them onto this site, which just lets you do a lot of things that would be similar to Photoshop filters, but then you can use their fast little animator Mosh tool. So if I just bring this in here, and up here, I switch it to GIF. I can then just click Mosh and it will change all these settings randomly. So I can also do it myself and play around with what each of these image manipulations do. And they're, some of them do movement, some of them don't, or I can just click around in the moshing and then see what these are and sort of edit what it gives me. So I've done that already and I made a few more images to work with for my site. Okay, so far I just have, this image in the top, and I'm going to change this. So instead of linking to that Google image search, it's going to link to page2.html. All right. Yes. Page 2. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Redo. Okay, I don't know what I did just now, but sorry about that. I'm just going to erase this and do page2.html. And that is a link to a page called Page 2 in my site. And the link is the image, which I already have in there. And then I'm closing out that link tag. So I need to create those other pages because I don't have them yet. I'm going to Command save and do File, New File, File, Save as page2.html. And I'm saving it in my site folder because all of my pages have to be in my site folder. And then I'm going to do File and New File and File, Save as page3.html and click Save. So every time you make a website, it has to all be in the same folder. The index or the homepage always has to be titled index.html, and this is where it will begin, and it will link to other pages that I tell it to. And if I have images in different folders, it will link in there. But all of this has to be in the same folder, otherwise it won't work. And you can't change the name of the index to something else because it won't work. So you always need index.html, and then you can name your other pages whatever you want. So I just called it page 2 and page 3 to simplify it. This could be about.html, it could be hello.html, it could be blah, blah, blah.html, as long as index.html is your homepage. Okay, so I'm going to make it so that, so right now I have this image link to page 2, and I have this W3 schools link. I'm going to change this also to page 2.html, and then this will say page 2 error, and then I will do another one and it will say page 3 error, and I'll save that and then refresh. And now let me style this image. I'll do the height as 400 pixels, and I'll do the width as 100%. So I don't have to put in the pixels only, I can also put the percentage. So that should make it so that it just stretches for the width of the page and whatever height I told it to. So now I have this header image and my page 2 and my page 3 linked together, so that when I go to page 2, nothing's going to show up because I don't have anything there. But once I fill in here, if I Command All and copy this and I paste it in here and then save and then refresh, when I go to my page 2, I'll get the same page. So here, so you can see the difference on page 2, I'll make the color of everything red. So now my page 1 and then my page 2. And this is how I will navigate through my site. And later we'll look at ways to also put in different kinds of navigation menus and things like that. But for now, we're just doing 3 HTML pages with images from Photoshop as our assignment. So I am going to look at what I've done here with these images, and I'm going to use this image, this first image here, as part of my concept. And I'm going to take this and copy it, this same image, over and over. And I'm going to make, oh, actually before that, I'm going to make the width 100%. So the width is always the same. And I'm just going to use this sort of ability to change the height of the image as part of my concept. So I'll start with 50, and then 100, and then 200, and then 300, and then 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 1,000. And then let's see, let's do $11. Yeah, let's do. Okay, so now when I command save and I go over here, and refresh. Okay, so I did that on page 2. So this is my page 2, which now just uses this sort of resizing mechanism to repeat this image over and over again. So that's one way to kind of think about creatively using the way that HTML interacts with images for making just an image and HTML based site. The next thing I'm going to do, so I'll go to my first page and I will bring in a different image. So I'm going to go to my images and remember what they are named. Okay, so the GIFs I named anime 1, 2, 3, and then I have these other ones, and I made a background image. So I can make a background image for the whole site. But in order to do that, I have to put that in a style tag at the top. And again, this is something we'll do with CSS, but if you don't have a lot of styling to do, you can get away with just putting in a style tag here and there and styling things. So I have a style tag, and then inside of my style tag, I have to write in CSS. And CSS is how we format things, so how you change the text color, how you change the alignment, the size of things and all that. And this is a whole sort of separate thing that will change the way everything on the HTML page looks, and we'll look at that more. But we can add in this exact CSS into a style tag. So I could add this body background color, light blue, and for CSS, you put brackets, squiggly brackets, and curly brackets open, and then you write in the terms here, ending with a semicolon, and then you have to close it out with this squiggly bracket. So all of that's inside of the style tag, and I have it in the head tag. So if I save this and now go to my site here, I have to go back to my index. So now I have this blue, light blue background on the whole thing. Instead of a background color, I can do a background image. And the way that I then have to write it here is I have to put URL, and then see, it gives me this clue down here. So it gives me this URL, okay. And then I have to put in parentheses, right, the name of this image and where it's located. So I have it called background PNG. So background dot PNG, and command save. And that should apply this to the body. Okay, so the image that I had, I cropped it really quickly, and you can't tell here, but there's a white sort of edge on it. So I want to get rid of that white edge, and I probably go back and to crop it But the other thing that I can do is change it with the styling. So I can do background size, and then I think it is cover. Yeah, cover. And I hit Command Save. And now it's going to stretch out that background image to cover the whole size of the page. So I could do that if I don't mind this sort of blurry background, if that's what I want. Or I could change the image and edit it and reload it. Or there's a few other things that I can do. But that's one way to change the background. I'm going to put in a different background. I'm going to put this Anime 2 GIF. Yeah, because I want to have this sort of like moving background. And then I'm going to put in all my animated GIFs into here. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did and change it. Oh, yeah, to 100%. And we'll see how that looks. And I'm kind of doing this without really thinking about what this is going to look like. So you could think about that a little bit more in yours. Anime 4. I'll try this. I'll do anime 4.gif. Anime 5. Anime 6. And so on. I'll just do all anime 4 to move on faster. Now when I go here and I resize it, I have this page of 404 GIFs to scroll through. So maybe I would keep doing that and, I don't know, resize it, do something weird with it, and link it to the other pages. This one I'm just going to continuously resize, and I'll just keep copying and paste that. And then page 3, I don't know yet what I'm going to do with page 3. I could do a lot of different things. Maybe on my page 3, I will do, I'm going to copy all of this and paste it in here. But maybe I will actually have this kind of repeated, but I'll make up some weird names for web error page sites. So this is an error page.com, which doesn't really exist, or maybe it does. This is another thing with errors.com. error.com. This one is blah error.com, and this one is blah.com. So maybe I'll just kind of use this idea of the error page to build out a bunch of links, and then as you go through and link through it, maybe I'll have it linked to a lot of different pages, or maybe it will go nowhere and all you can do is click on it and you just keep getting the same error page over and over again. Okay, so this is an example of working with just HTML and images, links, and linking pages for a site. So that's what you're going to do for your assignment. Oh yeah, couple of other things, forgot the comment. This is an HTML comment. This is important. So whenever you write inside of brackets, exclamation point, and 2 dashes is a comment, which is just for other humans to read. The browser doesn't read it and it doesn't show up on the site. So it's always good to leave in comments for yourself and for others when you have certain things, especially with a NetArt project. It can be a kind of a neat thing to add in messages in the comments. Normally you would do it for clarity and for documenting code and for attribution, which we'll also talk about attribution later. But I could say here, this is a site about error pages for my class for a NetArt project. If you are reading this, you should not be. I don't know. Something else. If you're reading this, hello. I'll just say that. But you can put in kind of things that are different than how you would normally do it for comments, because comments are not necessarily where you would try to put anything to communicate with people. It's for clarifying your code and adding notes about your site. And that's what you would normally do, but this could be a space for being creative as well. Okay, that is the second part of the tutorial for this week. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck with the assignments. Bye.